Welcome to the video lecture of object relationship attributes and methods. So identifying the object relationship attributes and methods are the things we are going to discuss in this video lecture. In the object-oriented environment, an application is the interaction relationship among the domain objects. All the objects stand in a relationship to others. All the objects stand in a relationship to others on whom they rely for services and controls. Object rely on other object for services and controls. Three types of relationship among the objects are: first one is association, how the objects are associated, the information guide to design the classes. Second one is superclass subclass structure, also known as a generalization hierarchy. This provides the direction of inheritance. Third one is aggregation and a part of structure. It provides a mechanism to manage the objects within another object. First one is association. A reference from one class to another is an association. It is a physical or conceptual connection between the two or more objects are known as association. Basically, a dependency between the two or more classes is an association. For example, Jackie works for John. It shows that a class symbol connected by the solid line among the association rules. A class symbol connected by the solid line. The solid line is given here along with the association rules. The role name should be closer to the each classes described in the role. So here the class A is having a role name and class B is having a role name. So this role name are described near the classes. So say here the John and Ken. Ken is a parent of John. So here the role name, the association name is parent of, and the role name of John is a son, and role name of Ken is a father. Identifying the association. If the objects lack in all necessary knowledge to perform a task, then it delegates the task to another object which is possess the task. For example, its lack of all necessary knowledge, it needs support of the another object. The following questions helps to identify the association. First question is the class capable of fulfilling the required task by itself, whether the class is self-sufficient? Second one is, if not, the class is not self-sufficient, what does it need? What kind of support it need from other objects? And what are the other objects it needed? Third question: from what other classes can it acquire and what it needs? So the second question is, what does it needs? What does the class needs? If not able to fulfill the service or fulfill the particular task, then what kind of support it needed, and that support are provided by the what are the other classes they provide that support. Next, they extract all the candidate classes from the problem statement. Next, if you can represent the problem statement with the association, then select it. Otherwise, use a part of structure. If you can represent the problem statement with an association, are you able to represent the problem statement with an association, then select it. Otherwise, you can think about if this is not represented by the association, then you have to think about the part of structure. Guideline for identifying the association. General guideline to identify the tentative association are: first one is a dependency between the two or more classes may be an association. Dependency between the two or more classes may be an association. It is often correspond to a verb or prepositional phrase, such as a part of, next to, work for, and contained in. A reference from one class to another class is known as association. Some associations are implicit and taken from the general knowledge. Common association patterns. So association patterns are two types. One is location association, another one is communication association. Location association, the next two part of contained in ingredient of are the location association. For example, cheddar cheese is an ingredient of French soup. Cheddar cheese is an ingredient of French soup. This is known as a location association. So where is a cheddar cheese? It is a is an ingredient of French soup. So this is location association. The next one is communication association. Talk to an order to. For example, a customer first place an order with an operator person. This is known as a communication association. So customer and the operator association is given. The association is represented as association class. If a task line and followed by the class symbol, given name is given. This is association class. So customer places an order. Communication association with the person, with whom? With the operator. Eliminate the unnecessary association. This is very important. First one is what are the unnecessary association? Implementation association. It means that defer the implementation specific association to the design phase. Okay, not in this analysis phase. Second is ternary association. If ternary or n-ary association is association among the more than two classes, then restate the ternary association as a binary association. If ternary occurs, you can try to convert it as a binary association. Third one is directed or derived association. The association that can be defined in terms of other associations. Since they are redundant, you should avoid this type of association. For example, John is a grandparent of Ken. This is a derived association. So how it comes? John is a parent of Brian. Brian is a parent of Ken. This is known as a derived association. Next one is superclass subclass relationship. The relationship represents the inheritance relationship between the classes. Class inheritance is useful for the number of reasons. The relationship also called generalization hierarchy, allow the objects to build from the other object. Such relationship allow us to explicitly take an advantage of commonality of the objects when we are constructing the new classes. Guideline for identifying the superclass subclass relationship. The first one is top-down relationship. Look for the noun phrases composed of how to do that, how to find the superclass subclass relationship in a top-down manner. Look for the noun phrases composed of various adjectives on the class name. Okay, for example, aircraft is a we can say that aircraft is a noun phrase. We can say that we can add some adjective. For example, military aircraft and civilian aircraft. If both are having a significant difference, then we have to make it as a subclasses. We are make it as a specialized classes. Only specialized classes specialize when the subclasses have a significant behavior. The second one is bottom up. Look for the classes with the similar attribute and methods. Okay, from the bottom to top. Okay, look for the classes with the similar attributes and methods. Group them by moving the common attributes and methods to superclass. Do not force the class to fit a pre-convinced generalized structure. Okay, do not do not force a class to fit a pre-convinced generalization structure. The reusability. Move the attributes and methods as high as possible in the hierarchy. At the same time, do not create the very specialized class at the top of the hierarchy. Do not create specialization should be done in the bottom of the hierarchy. The top of the hierarchy, we should have a generalized classes. This balancing act can be achieved through the several iterations. The fourth one is multiple inheritance. Avoid excessive use of multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance should be used very limitedly. It is also more difficult to understand the program written in the multiple inheritance of the system. Okay, it's very difficult. One way to achieve the benefit of the multiple inheritance is inherit from the most appropriate class. Okay, inherit from the most appropriate class and add the object of the other class as an attribute as a part of this class. Okay, so this is a simple solution. You have to inherit from the more appropriate class and make an object of other class as an attribute of this given class. In essence, a multiple inheritance can be represented as a combination of single inheritance and aggregation. This meta model reflects this situation. So see this example in multiple inheritance. How to create that? Do that from the single inheritance and make the another class as a part of object of the another class as a part of this class. Okay. So up to this, we end of the discussion. In this video lecture, we discuss about the association and the inheritance. And the next video lecture, we are going to discuss about the part of relationship. Thanks for watching the video.